Hello, my name is Pyro, and I'm going to be going over some of the basics of pyrofishing with you. Some of the commands to start with or learn about would be /fish menu. This type of menu will, while holding your fishing rod, display your fishing rod on the upper side, your stats within fish caught in general, the amount of augments you've crafted, and etc. And we'll even show you your skill tree in terms of how many levels you've accumulated, your current XP and required XP, and entropy level as you basically progress overall. With that being said, going over the first menu, we have our fish sell shop. The fish sell shop, you basically can put basically for the info of it, you can put fish inside that are rare in terms of pyrofishing in this box or regular fish, and the prices are dictated as seen below. The only time the prices are different is if there is a special multiplier, so such as octopuses are now worth 1.5 times the value right now for a temporary amount of time, or if you have a special augment that will boost money, that augment being specifically Solar Rage. So if you have basically this augment on your fishing rod and you're holding your fishing rod in your primary hand, when you sell things, it will basically get you a higher value of money or a bonus of money for using basically this augment. Going over more of the basics in terms of the menu, we have deliveries. Deliveries, as you basically keep fishing, you will randomly get deliveries brought to you. These deliveries allow you to basically fulfill certain requests, and by doing so, you get very special rewards. You can unlock more abilities or unique features at the bottom areas below, and it does cost basically a certain level of entropy in order to achieve these type of things. And for more information, you can hover over the wrench as it'll give you more details. The codex is a very helpful piece of info in regards to providing you an understanding of where to get unique fish. If I want to catch a koi fish, this will tell me what areas I need to fish to catch that fish specifically. If I want to catch rare mythical fish that are worth lots of money, I want to fish in very specific areas like the void and deep oceans and things of that nature. The varied chance of when you can get basically a certain fish are determined by your luck, the skill of your rod, or the specialty of the waters around you. I'll go over more information a little bit later. The next thing to go over is scales. Scales acts like a gambling zone. Throw fish inside, select a multiplier. The higher the profit margin you want, the higher the risk of it failing and cutting your profits down by a -%. For example, if I bet low, my chance of making profit is at 70%, which is really good odds. Which means I could make 20%, again, markup on base price. If it fails, though, which can happen, then I could lose a maximum of 20% of the value of my fish, and etc. going forward. Once you're ready to scale, you basically put the items in here, and it allows you to do that. The next item, of course, is a fish bag. A fish bag basically contains an area where you can just put fish of almost any type. The only fish that are not allowed are certain types of blackmore fish, mullet fish, and etc. You'll notice basically very unique looking fish that might be part of a different plugin, and that would not be able to fit in your fish bag or be used for profit. The next station would be gutting. Gutting only works on special fish only that are tied to pyrofishing, which means that as you fill this inventory with fish to gut, you would need to click the gut for entropy, and it would basically get rid of the fish and provide you with entropy, which will be fed into a private reserve in your character, almost like experience. The next is bait shop. Currently, that is a work in progress within the server. If you have suggestions on what kind of bait that you would like maybe in the future, I would recommend going into the /Discord server of Terra MC. You can get there by doing /Discord in-game and clicking on the link that it provides you, or copy pasting it onto a web browser. And you can make suggestions there on what kind of bait you might like. This might be set up for unique purposes later on. Augments. So augments have a very large and complex feature. Whenever you're ready to add or apply an augment onto your fishing rod, you put your fishing rod here, the augment in this selection, and you would click confirm augment or cancel augment, depending on what you would like to do. If you wish to withdraw entropy, which is the fish skill that you gain by fishing near other people, gutting fish, or by maybe even winning certain tournaments down the line, you can withdraw entropy and it turns it into a special crystal that you can give to other people for money or for other trading purposes. Or you could just simply stockpile your entropy in these crystals as a nice, safe way to kind of soft brag about how much of the tens of thousands of crystals that you might own. If you wish to remove all your augments from a fishing rod, you can do so, and this will not destroy your fishing rod. When you do this, basically, it will strip all augments off the fishing rod and leave them as individual balls, basically. They'll look like firework textures, essentially, and allow you to basically apply it onto another fishing rod if, let's say, you get a better fishing rod down the line. Now, learning more about the augments themselves, we have Hotspot. Hotspot is a very common one that people like to quickly get started on. And I'll go down the list of all of them and let you know what people would like to start on and what people tend to go away with. So people tend to start on Hotspot because it adds an extra level to your fishing rod where you can catch potential, special fish or get an extra fish within a single cast. The requirements are as listed below. When you get the equipment and requirements, all you would need to do is throw these items into a cauldron, which I can give a nice small example of. You would need a cauldron with some sort of fire source underneath it, whether it be physical fire, campfire, or even a magma block. You would physically toss the items, such as an example is throwing these diamonds, and make sure that it falls inside basically the watered cauldron. And then when you're done putting all the items, you would left click, right click onto the cauldron, and it would allow you to basically summon the augment, and it will turn the items into basically a ball of or a firework ball. which can be applied onto your fishing rod. With that being said, and continuing forward with the augments, you have Call of the Storm. This one is very great for rain purposes, and is a very easy one to make, so this is another beginner level one people tend to grind and get done quickly. Saturate. This one, requiring a little bit of a higher fishing level, can be something essential and easy to make. It requires very minimal ingredients and will basically automatically feed you while fishing, so food would be a thing of the past. Sage. This allows basically your fishing rod to give you more XP towards the plugin, so for every fish that you catch. The higher the augment, the more XP you gain, so essentially your fishing skill, which is something we'll go over in a moment, is something that enhances your ability to fish and do things within the server. And this is something that will boost it. Biome Disruptor allows you to basically catch fish from other biomes. A pretty hefty cost of items, but if you can gather that all and get it on your fishing rod, your ability to catch a wider variety of fish can be done in any biome, so you don't need to rely on moving from one biome to the other. Precision Cutting. This one will boost your gutting capability. As you basically boost this feature further, you basically increase your ability to gut fish, and you get basically fish gutting bonus, which gives you more entropy. This is really good for upscaling your build as you basically progress your fishing levels. Crab Bait. One that a lot of people like to reach again, or grind to as quickly as possible. Once they reach this level, they have the ability to level up it 5 times, and it makes it so you have a higher chance of catching crabs, which is really useful for grinding crab scales and crab claws for other augments. This is also a really good money maker for many people, as they may sell these augments to people that do not want to grind such an item. Intellect gives you just more base XP for every fish you catch. If you have tools that you need to fix with mending, this is the best augment for gaining more XP, which works really well for people. Perception adds 1 basically level to your fishing rod, so you get more entropy for catching custom fish, and the higher the augment, the more entropy. So this will basically just get you more entropy per fish, quite similar to another fish skull, which again we'll go over later. Trophy allows you to add 1 level basically to your fishing rod, where you can get a higher chance to profit from fish scales. So Trophy will increase your chances of making even more money off of fish scales, and it can allow you to really multiply your money in fishing in that way if you're really willing to roll the dice and do a little gambling. It is quite a hefty requirement, but for some people may be worthwhile. Solar Rage, as I previously mentioned before, is used to boost money. No need to go into further details. And then Master Fisherman is the final and hardest augment for people to grind and to master. The way this works is it requires a high fishing level of level 45. Every one of these will cost 120,000 entropy per augment, which can be done 20 times, and it allows you basically a higher chance to catch better tier fish. It's more of a token of true dedication to fishing, is what it likes to label itself as, but this is also an essential if you are looking to grind bigger items like a totem, which we'll go over in a moment, and certain fishing skills. You can put all of these augments at max level on your fishing rod, which means you could have Master Fisherman level 20, Solar Rage level 5, Precision Cutting level 8. You could do everything on your rod and it doesn't run out of space. It's something that is allowed within the server. With that being said, we reached the final portion, which basically is your totem. The totem structure works in the manner of building a physical structure like this. It gives you the layout, and you want the face to be facing forward on the observers, and it will look something like this physically. Minus the block underneath that's made of wood, that's only there to help keep it upright just above the water. You would basically need green terracotta that's glazed, 2 observers, 4 spruce stairways, a daylight sensor, and a orange glazed terracotta. When you assemble it in this way, you take your fishing rod and you right click the bottom face to activate fishing totem. Now, when you do the original activation portion of this, it will ask you to pay a price of a certain amount of fish parts, and fish pieces in order to activate the totem to this menu. Within the menu, you have totem radius. You can increase how far this radius spans, so more people can fish inside the totem. Active time, you can increase the duration to basically an additional minute. Cooldown reduction, a very special one. You basically could reduce the cooldown for every level by about 3 minutes or so. Costs quite a bit of entropy, but if it is something that you are willing to grind, you most certainly can do that. Passive slots, so you can increase the slots that you have allocated towards your passives. And so you can allocate different passive abilities. Right now I have only 1, so I can activate 1. In my case, well, it looks like actually I can't do that until I get more passive slots available. So it looks like Experienced Fisherman will increase fishing experience while fishing in the totem. And it looks like that's the only one you could do for level 1. So you would need to upgrade this a few times to use other special abilities within here. The special abilities do include things like Mythic Waters, the ability to give you a chance when fishing to randomly upscale it to a higher tier fish. Experienced Fisherman, which I'm selecting right now, which is now active. Now when I fish within the totem's presence, I gain bonus experience for this. Fish Schools allows you to passively make a hotspot activate more frequently. Little Critters, passive that gives you a higher chance to get crabs or crab-related loot from killing crabs in the radius. Treasure Hunter, passive that gives you a chance to catch a fish to randomly will find rare or random items or loot, so you'll find basically bonus loot while fishing. Starfall, a passive that gives you a chance when catching fish to randomly summon a lightning bolt that summons a strong fish. If you kill that fish, you're rewarded with loot and entropy. And Entropy Hoarder, passive ability that gives you more entropy for catching fish in the radius. And Random Drops, it gives you a chance when killing crabs to randomly get squid, dolphin, or other fishing loot within it. With that being said, basically the passive effects will not work with the totem if they are in cooldown. Breaking the totem will save the data and give you a special item, so when you place it down, you don't need to basically reassemble things in full. And to activate your totem, you would click the activation button. It makes a circle around, and as I fish within the circle, what will occur is I will get basically slightly amped or better fishing. Now, one thing that I will point out is within the fishing that is currently set on the server, I do know that the fish itself tend to be locatable in multiple biomes. I do hear that there might be something in the works that might allow you to have access to multiple biomes in your home or house area. So, in due time, that will become an available feature. I hope this information is helpful to you. If there's any general questions about how mechanics work, or if you would like to see a demonstration of certain things, I will be providing that information later on. Thank you, and have a nice day.